working at Red Robin for doing that. When do we get to bury him in a thing and jerk off on him, though?
I'd say I can take on 3 11-year-olds.
And he clicks the button, and he's just this woman cussing him the fuck out.
This is the weirdest theory I've ever heard in my entire life. Well, in a lot of ways, Big Boy's never left.
I agree. He will tell you I'm a bad driver, but there's no evidence for that.
I have intuition, and I'm deep, and then people fall for absolute monsters on a regular basis.
Sorry.
All right. Welcome to the Two Hippies, One Drunk podcast. I noticed on our Facebook feed, it's still saying Eric dives into the idea of
I was hitting a button and I messed up. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Cool.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Oh, no. Oh, shit. No.
No, you see what I mean. Yeah.
I do see what you mean. You know what? We forgot they added that new thing where you can put the thing on the Facebook feed, but the one on the top, I forgot. We need to edit both of those because that one goes to the YouTube channel. So I'll change it when the show's done. But
yeah, fair enough. Anyway, so this podcast runs a little bit different than most, and then we switch hosting duties each week between me and 2 of my good time comic buddies. Got Tyler Charles right here, and Eric Fady.
Hello.
Yeah, and every week we pick a topic and we talk about it. Real quick, for a little bit of housekeeping, we do still have that promotion going on every week where we do a drawing where anybody can leave us a 5-star review and a comment, and you can get a chance to win either 2 drawings from Tyler or an hour.
You get to pick from 2 drawings. You always say 2 drawings, but
you get to pick from them. Yeah, you're not just
you'll draw 2 drawings and you'll draw 2 and you'll like it. You son of a bitch.
Yeah. That's fair. Or an hour-long tarot reading from me. Okay, so this week I had planned on. I had compiled some of. I love a good opinion piece. They're never good. It's never a genuine. Like I could think of very few mainstream opinion pieces I actually enjoy, but I love a good insane opinion piece.
Well, it's like in the perfect world, opinion pieces you would hope in an ideal world.
What exactly is an opinion piece?
Like they write it in the paper. It's not an actual news story. It's just someone saying, "I think that racism is bad."
That would be more like an opinion section. An opinion piece is a guy hired by a newspaper or a magazine to do
Who gives his little opinions.
Like
this is my 2 cents on the subject.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I guess that's what I was kind of saying.
The same thing as Eric, just somebody like saying their opinion on some shit, putting it into a paper.
I think we were in the middle ground there because I was definitely under the assumption that a person works for the paper or these days obviously on paper, online or whatever. But like the difference is like someone might be a person who writes actual news articles like, hey, this is what's happening in Afghanistan. But then once in a while they might on the side be like, hey, I have an opinion about sports or something, and they whatever, right?
Yeah, it's probably more along the lines of what it is.
Yeah,
right?
This is not an amateur crank. This is a professional crank.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is a crank who lives in a nicer house than any of us has at.
Right. Yeah, and they usually are very judgmental, by the way, judgmental and willing to. I find usually just my opinion, willing to shame a lot of people. Usually, it's usually things that come from a nature of
honestly, when they're the ones deserving of all of the shame.
Regularly, yes.
Yeah. Well, okay, and to be clear, just because you kind of said an opinion columnist is not a reporter. An opinion columnist is never a reporter.
Okay, that's my bad. I always assumed that sometimes they did both. And okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, no.
So it's just they're hired for their opinion.
Yes,
that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
So then usually, I guess,
place do this.
Oh yeah, a lot of them.
Well, no, aren't they? But they're usually like writers. Already, like they're not just somebody would probably very rarely, I would assume, literally not be like a book writer or something and just get hired to write opinions, right?
Opinions. Could it be like a famous person they want like their opinions?
It's not you. Okay, here's a good example. David Brooks writes for the New York Times. He was a George W. Bush speechwriter.
Okay.
For 10 or 15 years.
See, that makes sense to me, though. Like, that's, you know what I mean? Like, they're not just going to take some kid out of college. Well, now they probably do. But because no one pays, there's no money in it anymore. But back in the day, it would not have just been like, I got out of college with a writing degree. Perfect. You're our opinion person. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
they probably do now.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of kids, kids of famous people who have failed at everything else in their life, and now they're
Right, and then just get handed a job.
So it does transfer over into just you're famous, so we want your opinion.
Meghan McCain went from being John McCain's daughter to writing opinion pieces for like a decade.
Yeah, that's a good point. You're right. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Anyway, I had this first article I wanted to bring up to you guys. The other ones I'm going to tell you the names. This one, the name will spoil it, and there's a surprise in this article, and I want you guys to take the journey. So I'm not going to let you know what the name of it is.
Okay.
It was a Slate piece.
The name of the article or name of the person or
the name of the article?
Okay.
I didn't write down the name of the person. I actually don't remember who fucking wrote this. Some Slate writer.
Okay.
But this went around Twitter this year. This was one I was originally going to put it second, but I decided I was going to put it first. This is one that has been going around Twitter, and when it came out, I was like, I'm reading this at some point on the podcast. I don't know when, but like,
I want
this
to
is coming up. Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Last Christmas morning, I padded my bed, inviting my newly adopted beagle, Bonnie, to jump up and cuddle. My boyfriend, still under the covers, reached out to pet her soft little head, which was now wedged between us. I turned away to grab
hate this person already.
Yeah, why are they starting out with their isn't this like on a thing?
Well, I mean, we don't. Well, we got Tyler. You got to remember, we don't know the name of it because it will ruin it. So there's a name of it
somewhere. But to start out with, this is my morning. Also,
when you get deep into opinion pieces, it is all of these people just describing their day, like the worst Facebook posts I will make bitching about just some random thing that irritated me.
But this person believes that they have a platform and a voice, so they can really.
This honestly makes me think of like every rom-com, like the woman's career as some like fucking opinion piece thing where it's like they're telling their life story about how they met this guy.
That is always the easiest go-to. You're right, in movies like that. It's always by the way, you know when regularly when they do these things, and actually I'm what I call a rom-com fan. I actually really like romantic sitcoms. But I like the comedy ones more than I always say that. Like I like them. They have to at least be kind of a comedy. I don't like the Notebook.
Like an action.
Yeah, I don't like the Notebook, but I like Hitched, or I like
so not like a full-on romance.
Yeah, I like a rom-com.
Yeah,
but like,
with the
dude,
emphasize.
Yeah,
right, exactly.
More like calm than rom.
They are always, and it's like sitcoms too. But Tyler's right with that. Like they always are living in New York. And they claim they're struggling because like, oh, I'm just writing this crappy column.
You have like a
and yet somehow they're living in
a job at this place that like, oh, I'm writing. I'm like looking at this thing and telling people through my writing what's going on with this thing because I'm a reporter. But it's always like a gossip column.
Here's why.
And then somehow they make enough money to live in Midtown Manhattan.
Their apartments are ridiculous. But
and that's really what it comes down to with these rom-coms, because you're totally right. The Sex and the City literally uses that as a framing device. It's the whole
thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Not trying to derail. I just felt like that's a very, very equivalent kind of thing.
You're totally right. And if we're like, in my opinion, the reason they do that in rom-coms is because they need to have enough money to ostensibly live in Manhattan somehow.
Yeah,
right.
And they can't be at their job all the time.
Exactly. Exactly. I once wrote this as a Facebook joke, and I was like, the secret to any real big sitcom, to me, like a successful sitcom, is you have to at least have one of the main characters has to not actually be at their job at any point. They have to have some, whether it's wealth they already had or they're an actor conveniently you can't have a sitcom where all the characters have real jobs that they can't just call off in a second.
The sitcom would be about their job.
Right.
A real life sitcom would be, I'm in the fucking freezer at work texting this girl back.
Right,
like
exactly.
2 episodes a month, or like 1 episode a month would be them chilling. And then the rest of the episodes they're at work.
Them just getting at home, tired as shit, watching TV shows, passing out.
Nothing happens. They chill and watch TV and pass out. Right. I mean, I wouldn't watch that. You're right. You need somebody who is just
it's just a weird thing. You need it because you can't do it without it, but you do need it. You cannot have a sitcom.
I think that with like architects. They're always putting architects in those things, and it's like, that's a full-time. You were doing that constantly.
No, okay, the beauty of an architect is it's like, who knows what an architect is?
Right? I know exactly.
Yeah.
What do they do? Are they just sitting there drawing pictures of bridges all day, or what?
Yeah. Oh my god. And couldn't
Anyway,
you just
sorry.
do
Let's
that
get
at
back.
home?
Let's get back to the article
Why do
here.
you even have an office for an architect? Yeah, let's get into
Okay.
these stories.
Yes.
Okay, finish. All right.
Okay.
So as a recap, just a small recap. This dude got in bed.
This
with his
white
dog
chick
and his partner.
has a bed.
This girl.
This white girl has a dog that jumps up in bed with her in the morning.
That's where we're at.
Anyway, I turned to grab my phone and it happened. A guttural bark followed by a human scream. I whipped around to see my boyfriend's hand covered in blood. Before I could figure out how to help him, he was out the door on his way to urgent care.
He left without saying anything to you. Like, what an asshole, dude. And like, what? Okay.
Well, he has a
So
he has
he
an
got bit by
arm
the
hand
dog.
of his.
He got bit by the dog.
Okay.
And
So is this opinion piece going to be turning into like, I support my dog, not my dumb boyfriend?
just wait.
Oh God, that is where it's
That's the
going.
feeling I get.
Okay, no, this is my thing. He went to urgent care. This
I know,
bitch of a
dude.
man. I have been bitten by a dog before.
Well, okay, wait.
I don't know. Like,
Wait a minute, no.
really
Here-
fucks it up.
So you're
beagle.
wrong. You're right and wrong to me. Dude, we don't know how severe the bite is. She said there's a lot of blood. Dude, urgent care isn't where you go. Dude, urgent care is like, you gotta go to the ER. They don't do
Yeah.
shit at urgent care, dude. Urgent care is just kind of like, hey, we'll take your temperature and blood pressure and then suggest you go to the doctor. Like,
Yeah. Urgent care is my girlfriend's too stupid to mother me. So I'm gonna
Go
Right.
get some Tylenol from them.
Right.
Yeah.
And okay, just what I will say right away, I do not believe the extremity of any of these things she's going to say. So
yeah,
so
okay.
when she says that, because this is a beagle puppy.
Okay.
Right.
How hard is a beagle puppy biting a guy?
That's a good
I
point.
mean, they might not have restraint. They could be like really doing it, digging in. Like a little puppy, like snakes don't know how to regulate their venom. It's like a puppy doesn't know how hard to bite.
I know, yeah.
But they're living together. I would think at this point they're living together, so he knows the dog. It's not
There's a
also like
lot
it's
of
some.
blood. Imagine you got like let's say 4 real puncture wounds in your hand.
Yeah.
You probably want to get them stitched up.
I've gotten bit pretty good by a dog before. I would not describe it as a lot of blood.
Well,
Well,
I don't know. We have to
maybe
just
this
take her
different.
word
Maybe
for it,
it
I
had a
suppose.
vein. Maybe it was specifically like an actual thing you need to worry
You're
about.
giving this woman way too much credit.
Okay. I don't understand why I'm giving her too much credit.
Okay. It was Bonnie's second
They
bite.
put down this dog.
Just listen.
Okay.
It was Bonnie's second bite in the week since I'd adopted her. Like many others last year, I was thrilled to adopt a dog. The
Oh
so-called-
boy, here we go. Here we go. This is a COVID dog, and now she's gonna get
It's
a
a dog. The so-called pandemic puppy boom made for what felt like stiff competition at the time. After months of filling out applications, I was eventually contacted by an animal shelter in New Jersey. A 6-year-old beagle whose photo melted my heart was ready to meet me. Some friends and I drove down from New York City to pick her up, and then we got out of the car. Bonnie trotted up to me immediately. Timid but curious, she allowed me to scratch one of her velvety ears as she sniffed my jacket. When she leaned into my hand, like the beagle I had growing up used to do, it seemed meant to be. A few weeks later, I was sitting on the floor of my kitchen with Bonnie and a dog trainer. We were working on positive reinforcement training and desensitizing her to triggers like the vacuum,
You rich.
which
little
she
ass.
bit in the night before.
Well, I mean, you
I'm
say
just saying
that,
how
Tyler,
you
but
got the
honestly,
money
there's a
to
lot
be
of
getting
people
this
that
fucking
Yeah.
dog trainer.
I don't know, dude. There's a lot of people. To me, look at. I think that I think dog training. I think some people more people need dog trainers than they fucking realize. I like dogs, but I am so sick of fucking people that you walk in their house and their dog just goes.
I'm just saying that you can afford that is a
Yeah,
different
well,
level.
that's not a. I don't know. That's dude. Everything's
I could see
subjective.
going to a dog training place.
Yeah, home dog training.
Okay.
But like
Correct.
home dog training, you hire.
Yeah,
This guy. Like, you're
okay,
paying
I
a
get ya.
lot per hour.
And
Yeah, that's a difference. You're right. You're
I
right.
don't want to skip over the fact that she said this dog bit the vacuum. I don't.
Yeah, it bites everything. Did it also bite your shoes and that freak you out?
I mean, I've seen some dogs pretty scared at vacuums before. I don't know. I guess I don't know if
had
it.
one attack a vacuum. They run
Yeah,
from it.
I guess not.
Okay, so Vacuums, along with almost everything else in my apartment and outside of it, terrified Bonnie. I was already familiar with these training methods from a master class I'd seen in which a celebrity dog trainer assures new pet owners he can help their dog overcome things like accidents in the house, excessive barking, and digging in the yard.
Now, that's some bullshit. A master class by some celebrity. Like she has to claim
That's what I'm saying. This person's well.
Yeah, that's that's some bullshit. This is leading to this chick who thought she was so nice and then it's gonna just I decided it wasn't for me.
I gotta know what the hell is happening with this dog.
I'll tell you what's happening.
I kill that dog.
At the beginning of each video lesson, an intro sequence plays. There are no untrainable dogs, he asserts, only untrainable people. Bonnie had sunken her teeth.
I would agree with that, by the way.
Yeah, totally,
humans are the fucking problem, always. The dogs can learn if the humans fucking do it.
Yeah, dogs pick up on your energy. They follow your energy. Bonnie had sunken her teeth into my hand during my first full day with her. I'd reached out while she was licking her leg, unaware I'd crossed a boundary. When I explained this to the trainer, she reasoned Bonnie needed time and space to adjust to her new home. Still, I couldn't shake feeling guilty as if I'd done something wrong. When friends and colleagues asked me about my new dog, I only half lied. I said she was doing great, and when I tilted my webcam toward her during Zoom calls, I made sure my swollen, scabbing hand wasn't visible on the screen.
Oh my God, shut up. Does she hate her dog? Like, what is her problem?
And by the way, what's wrong with just saying, dude, we're trying to do the right thing. We didn't want to get adopting an animal is way better than going to some of these dog farms and shit like that.
6. It already has its own predispositions about stuff. Like, you can't act like a dog's not going to be a dog.
Yeah, and we had, the cat we own right now attacked us when we first got her.
Yeah.
We weren't hiding it from people.
I know, dude, this fucking cat's crazy right now, but hopefully she calms down.
Which she did.
Right.
Okay. In my swollen, scabbing hand, what is this?
And hiding it, she's ashamed of her dog for biting her.
Like she's a person in a zombie movie who doesn't want to let people know she's infected.
Exactly. Yeah.
And honestly, anybody who, you were saying, Eric, blame the human. When animals bite people, I'm typically the owner is causing that anxiety or anger or whatever is coming out of the dog. I'm not blaming the dog.
I either think it's two things. It's that and or they're just lazy humans. And I actually, as we grow in the next 100, 200 years, if the earth is still, if we're still here kicking, I suppose, I wonder about, I think they came up on the show at one point. I wondered if we would at some point think it's crazy that we just own animals. Is it this idea that you own an animal in your house, is that going to be looked at as monstrous? But having said that, we're in the time frame that it is acceptable. I have pets. I love my cat. But when I said about the dog, it's not just the energy, but it's dude, he is a more feeble animal than us. And if you want them to do good, so it also, it's just like raising a child. Some people you raise a child and people think, oh, you got to teach them right and wrong. But with the dog, they just let it go and go, oh yeah, it's crazy. He bites people.
Oh, totally. And one thing I have learned, especially my mom is she is a dog enabler to to the worst degree. And it's funny, so I kind of grew up that way. And as I got dogs as an adult, I actually kind of laid the hammer down and I gave them structure and stuff. Dogs fucking love that. They love you for that. They don't want to make decisions.
And it's hard, dude. Yeah, and it's hard. I'm a sucker. I don't own any dogs. I do a lot of dog sitting though. And so I'm a sucker. I give them some of my food once in a while here and there. And they, I play with them sometimes more than maybe, I try to
have a friendly relationship with them. You just have to also be there.
No, but
it's still you're not allowed on the couch. You don't.
But if you own the dog, if it's yours, you have to. I mean, it is absolutely like a child. You have to treat it like that. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And so many dog owners, they do. They just want to go he just does whatever he wants to do.
Yeah. Oh, well.
He just exists in our house.
He just spends 3 hours a day scratching at the window and barking at everybody who comes by. Is that a happy dog to you?
No.
Right.
Okay. So the daily dog anxiety meds came next, though they did little to make my otherwise healthy pup less afraid. So she's giving this dog Xanax now.
Yeah.
And despite practicing those desensitization tactics every day, Bonnie regressed, lunging at perceived threats on the street like joggers, other dogs, and squealing kids.
By the way, Tyler, I know we don't want to ruin this, and you haven't told us. Me and Tyler are hearing this for the first time, but
Yes.
dude, this is so just her writing a column to justify why she gave a dog away in the best case or killed a dog in the worst case.
Yeah.
And she's just trying to like, it's like
I killed my dog.
but she's just like begging all of us, like, see, I tried.
I
See,
put it all together.
I had to.
I really, I really love this dog.
And I feel like if you got rid of all the exaggeration, I've had dogs like this. I've had dogs where it's like, oh yeah, they nip at people, so I have to get them to stop that.
Right.
Or they pull on their leash when I'm walking them, which is what she's referring to when she says lunging at passerby.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I was dog sitting a few weeks ago for a dog, and great dog, such a fun time, and he loves going on walks. But like, it's one of those dogs, like, dude, he'd walk 20 miles if he could, and then be like, well, I'm ready to be home. But as an adult, you have to say, dude, we've been walking for 45 minutes. We got to go back. Like, you just can't, let it, because he's a dog and he doesn't fucking know better.
Yeah.
But that's how. But you got to be the human, the adult.
And she's essentially going like, the dog started barking, so I drugged it up, and that didn't work.
Yeah, right. I tried
and
pills.
Then it started acting like a dog,
Which is
and
also,
I had a problem with that.
which is also upper middle class people. You compared dogs to kids earlier. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Just give them some Adderall.
I mean, I tried giving him drugs. Well, come on.
Yeah.
Tried
What more
stuffing
could
them
I
full
do?
of amphetamines.
Yeah,
tried
the only
stuffing
thing
them
that
full of
worked was
benzos.
drowning them along with my dog.
Right.
Okay, one night before bed, while she was squatting to pee beside a tree, she bolted at a man strolling by us on the sidewalk. Before I could react, she chomped into his cap, his pant leg in her teeth as he tried to pull away.
Now, I will say, I'm gonna give her mostly like ripping her for the most part, but I'm gonna give her some of it out. This does sound like a dog that had
A pretty
probably
aggressive
should've-
dog.
No, let me read the next line. To
Okay.
my surprise, the man brushed off the incident.
Oh, never mind. I spoke too
This guy didn't
soon.
fucking care.
Yeah.
This
I
guy
spoke
was
too
like,
soon.
Oh, this is like, I like dogs. It got a little aggressive. No big
Yeah. I spoke too soon. Idiot. Why did I have to step in?
I did not. From that night on, each time I bent over to pet Bonnie or sat down for a belly rub, I monitored her every move. Any sudden shift, and I'd pull away flinching.
Oh, I bet you would. Yeah, that's gonna make that dog feel super anxious.
Right.
Like, you're
Yeah,
all
that's gonna help.
Scared? It can smell fear. Like, what the fuck?
Okay, months of failing to exhale. Months of failing to
Exhale. You were holding in a breath for months.
Get the fuck over here. You want me to show you some pictures of some people with some real problems, lady? Like,
Seriously.
over a beagle.
She sounds like has a house haunting or something. Like, what are you talking about?
Okay, help me decide I should find Bonnie a new place to live. Maybe city life didn't agree with her, I reasoned, and a quiet existence in the suburbs was what she needed. It was tough to picture her soulful eyes staring into the face of a new owner, but I knew that for my safety and the safety of my neighbors, I couldn't continue to manage her behavior.
And this is a beagle. This is a tiny fucking dog.
Totally.
Like, seriously, just one like brush and it's.
and by the way, this will
being
really
flung
help
into
the
a ball.
dog. The dog's now was already at a point where he had to be adopted. Now he's been given away again.
Yeah.
Because you just impulsively bought a dog during COVID.
Yep.
Exact, dude. That honestly, there were so many stories of now about I forget what the statistics was, but there was a big statistic about how people that have since given back pets that they got COVID, and there's nothing not nothing, but it makes me really fucking mad. Like, dude, do not get a fucking animal unless you know the deal.
COVID.
Yeah.
Right? Like, dude, ridiculous. Fuck
I
you.
can understand being like, hey, we have nothing to do. Like, we've been talking about this for a while. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And like, we're committing to having an animal,
Yeah.
but not being like, oh, we're getting it to comfort me while I'm home.
It's like,
And
dude,
then
this
when
is
I go back to work, I'm gonna kick it to the curb.
it's like, this is a little sad. I'm about to say kind of something sad, but I think it fits with this. But like, I saw something the other day where it talks about owners of pets that won't sit in with their pet when they put them down, and it's like, dude, they say on that thing, they're like, dude, that pet, you don't realize it because they're a simple-minded creature, but you were their whole life. They relied on you on food and to let you out and to do this and to treat them if they were sick. And yes, it sucks. No one, I don't know if you guys have ever been in a room when an animal's been put down. It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible. But it's worse for that animal because he doesn't understand it. He's in his room and he's in pain, and you're not there now when he's in his last moments. And my point is, like, that's the same thing here. Not as extreme, but it's like they are a big responsibility, and nobody should get a pet if you don't fucking understand that.
Well, it's a difference between dying surrounded by your family and loved ones and dying being
not just even in a hospital by yourself, like in another country, the world,
like as a Nazi doctor experimenting on.
Yeah, not even just in a thing by yourself, like
execution, execution by injection.
Yeah.
Right. And so I know that was a little but on the sadder and darker side, but it's like I think of it the same with these things to me.
It's okay. We're heading in that direction anyway.
Yeah.
One day I confessed my problem to a friend, and she recommended behavioral euthanasia.
Oh, you fucking what?
What the fuck?
I recommend euthanasia for that person.
Yeah,
are you fucking...
I think we need to do some stuff to that.
What was that called? Therapy or
behavioral euthanasia?
So just killing it because it's being a shithead.
Yeah, killing it.
But it's not. But here's the problem. Here's the problem. You're not killing a shithead though that knows they're a shithead. You've not done the job, the work. Like that's just like someone walks by on your street, you know nothing about them, and you're just like, I don't like what they just did. Boom, kill them.
Yeah,
exactly. It
needed to be done. They were bad at what they were doing. I didn't like it.
Brought it up earlier, being like, you know what, this is a bad kid, and drowning them in the bathtub.
Yeah, I don't like it. So whatever.
I was.
This level of thinking.
I'm so upset by this, to be honest with you.
Send it to a little doggy jail or something. Don't
behavioral,
kill it
dude. Behavioral, that is fuck you, man. Like
it's just euthanasia. Don't add that beginning part.
Don't fucking say that part. Shut up.
Positive thing.
Behavioral execution.
Yeah, behavioral.
Yes.
Is way more accurate.
I was
at a minimal, by the way, because I'm going to assume that this is something you can technically do because we will look at them as animals for the most part. If this happens, you should have we have permanent records as a kid. You should have a permanent record of no animals the rest of your life. You get one of these.
Yeah.
One of these, dude. Then you're out.
Yep.
Out of the club.
Yeah.
Out of the club of having an animal. But I 1,000% agree.
I was dumbfounded to discover you could call a vet.
Oh, by the way, real quick, and you should have to tell people why. You should have to tell people why your dog was put down. Not he had cancer, not some bullshit.
Yeah. Totally.
Okay, so she's calling around?
Call a vet's office and ask them to do that. Suddenly, in my new quest to help Bonnie get better, I'd become the decider of her fate.
I thought she was going to say, suddenly I became the bad guy. Is what I thought she was going to say.
Because honestly, even that, like, she hears that and isn't immediately appalled. She goes,
right, like, the thought should be like, wow.
So who does it?
Why would you even suggest that? Are you kidding me?
See who's out there that is available if that option, comes up.
Okay, I put up a post on a private rehoming site for her anyway, and I held out hope for a while, but never received any adoption inquiries. And as her bite count continued to grow, so did my desire to stop living with a dangerous animal.
It's a beagle! It's not a lion!
No.
Yeah, I mean, at the worst, she could just put the dog in one of her other extra rooms and give him food and water a few times a day, take him out once or twice a day. Honestly, at the worst.
You change this to like a Doberman Pinscher, I get it more. I feel the fear.
A pit bull.
Like one of these 100-pound dogs.
Just a skinny pit bull. Sure. I feel like they're just the very scary dog. So if you had a dog that was doing that was big, I can see the fear a little bit. Beagle,
for sure.
Get a cage.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I know it would suck, but it'd be at least
where you can give it actually help.
I can't believe she's writing this column in order to justify how she kills this dog.
That's what I'm saying too. Is like she actually put this out there.
What a horrible person.
This is gonna make you look, even with your like, well, I try. I really tried.
You know what's fucked up is you can go to this Twitter, like the Twitter where they, they'll write an article and then they'll
of course,
it, on Twitter, the link. And there are a ton of other column writers and stuff, people of that class being like, this was really brave of you to talk about this.
Really evil that you did it.
That'd be like writing an article about that's ridiculous. Brave?
Brave?
Yeah, it's brave because she's admitting that she's a horrible person to the world.
Yeah,
I guess that's brave.
Like, you're a murderer. You're a bad person.
I mean, a ton of people.
I don't even know what happens. But, yeah.
Okay. So I could feel my heart beating out of my chest every time we got ready to go outside, fearing the worst for our walk. I only left my apartment without her once per week so I could buy groceries. This way she wouldn't get so nervous.
Are you acting like you're fucking kidnapped by your dog?
100%. She is acting like this dog has a loaded gun.
At the front door, just sitting there, cocking it.
I tiptoed around my 2-room home each day, hoping I wouldn't cross any invisible boundaries. Can I just say, I am amazed she has not accused this dog of gaslighting her.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it a male dog? I mean, are we going down
or like so many things?
Is it a male dog? Could we go down a cisgender situation here? I mean, this is some,
Okay, even if I did somehow find someone to take Bonnie, I wondered whether it would just...
Oh, it's Bonnie, probably not a male.
Yeah, girl. Just exacerbate her already crippling anxieties. As the weeks went by and no new options appeared, I realized I had a choice. I could
you know what? You could fucking let the dog just out, by the way, instead even do that is better.
Let it be.
Just let it go out there and see what happens.
That is horrifying in its own way.
Better than fucking this to me.
Killing it, yeah. I'm
not saying it, dude. I wouldn't do that. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like if those are your options. I mean, your option should be to understand that this dog has been through maybe some kind of trauma and needs time to heal from that.
Sounds like this is going to be a great mother in training, by the way.
Continue searching on rehoming sites at the same time.
Yep.
Maybe you find a hunter or somebody who can use it. Like it's a beagle. Okay, so I could send her off with a stranger one day, someone she would certainly injure and who would perhaps end up euthanizing her anyway, or I could allow her to leave this terrifying world peacefully with someone she loves.
The fucking no!
She don't love you.
She's bugging you.
The day she got there, she was like, "This bitch is gonna."
The real thing is this dog was this dog knows what's up.
Retroactively was right for her.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like, this person's gonna be the last fucking person I see, and I don't like it.
Yeah,
right, exactly.
Behavioral euthanasia is not a decision made out of convenience. Typically, it
that's a definition.
Seriously.
Typically, it enters the conversation once the safety situation with a dog, cat, or other animal deteriorates beyond an acceptable level of risk.
I would say this, by the way. I do think technically there would be a time when quote unquote behavioral euthanasia could. I'm serious. Like if you really do get a rabid dog, legit rabid dog or something, they got rabies, whatever. I mean, that's there, but not what she's describing.
This dog is bad on walks and it bit you a couple of times.
I don't even like when the fucking zoos. Whether we should have zoos or not, that's a whole other thing. But when like those few times where a child or something has got into they broke into the cage.
Oh, I'm
and then the animals,
for the animal.
And they put the animal right. No, they put the animal
hands down, rooting for the gorilla to tear that child apart.
Well, that's my point. They put the animal down.
Okay. Just
that kid.
Yeah.
No, but that's my point. Though.
Anybody falling in a cage, I'm still like, you're a fucking idiot, and that's what happens. Get him, gorilla. Don't you dare kill that animal.
But that's what they do, though. That's my point, and that's bullshit. Because, dude, someone snuck into the cage,
and then they kill the animal.
Totally. You ever been stared down by an animal at the zoo?
Yeah,
I definitely
I haven't been to a zoo in a long time.
Way and a scary way.
Yeah,
both of them.
What kind of animal?
Oh my god, I feel terrible. One was we actually saw the same. It was an orangutan that was just sad as fuck. I've never seen like a
dude. Colorado Zoo is off.
It's not.
Was he just like, please get me out of here?
Not Denver. Denver's awesome. Colorado Springs is awful. Yeah. And then the other one was a tiger, where it just sat
there, like
barely looked.
Yep, I had it with a tiger too.
Really?
We're like, there's a group of people, and I'm walking around the enclosure, and its eyes are just following me. And I'm like, I don't know why, but you decided I'm your meal.
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts, man.
I just had it stare at me, sit there and stare.
I desperately wished someone would come and assess my personal level of risk, something only I could do. It was an excruciating...
What happened to his boyfriend, by the way?
Yeah, he surprisingly doesn't come up. I'm betting he probably was against this.
Maybe
because honestly, when you think about that, isn't it weird that he hasn't come up?
Know about her crazy dog?
Maybe he left her because she's a murderer.
Right, like he hasn't came up once in this article, like because he hasn't said like, "Oh, my boyfriend tried too," or literally not once. And so she said boyfriend at the beginning, right? It wasn't just some dude sleeping with her.
Yeah, she said boyfriend.
How is it that he has not been brought up again in this paper?
That is a great point, Eric, because too, if he was on board with this, it would all be, we
both agreed.
Yeah.
We didn't want to. We tried. No, there's no we in any of this.
Why is it all on her?
For real? Seriously.
Unless they're not living together, maybe it's like her dog. And he's just like that.
She's still throwing.
He'd still be, but she was dude. She's writing an article to try to justify killing this dog. She's gonna use anything she can.
To be like,
because if she could say,
they agreed with me.
Yeah, even my boyfriend saw it too.
Her friend called and suggested killing it.
Yeah,
right, but no mention. Oh, sorry, no mention of the boyfriend.
Nope.
No, I would love, man, if we could somehow find this boyfriend and do an interview of him on this podcast.
That would be incredible.
He's like, I left her the day she killed that dog. We were done.
Or the day that she even. I would think it might even be the day that she even considered it. Really?
Yeah.
Just the thought of even a maybe going. Well, maybe.
He went to urgent care for a pack of cigarettes and never came back.
or he's just a piece of shit and was like, "Nah, that dog bit me. We're done."
She would say it though. She would write in this article like, "He's tried too. We both tried." She would say it. That's the thing.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Okay. Oops, I lost my spot. So give me a second. Okay,
that can be hard sometimes when you're reading like that.
Yeah, it was excruciating, but when I turned, Bonnie was always on the defense, even in the calmest situations. When it came down to her quality of life was poor. I couldn't envision her feeling safe in any situation, no matter how rural the home, no matter how many triggers were eliminated. To prevent.
Can you see into her little doggy brain and fucking tell us more?
Seriously, if you know so much about this fucking dog, get it to stop biting.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
To prevent her from harming herself or anyone else again, I chose behavioral euthanasia. On the phone,
just her going, it's cool. I can do it. It's okay.
On the phone, I wept quietly as I made Bonnie's appointment, taking shallow breaths as the receptionist instructed me to make sure she was wearing her muzzle when we arrived.
Do you mean like a sigh of relief, you evil bitch?
Right.
Sorry, I do not like this lady.
Yeah, no, these are crocodile teeth.
She is a
Yeah.
Oh, she's the worst.
Bonnie's last day came sooner than expected. On a quiet
No, it didn't. You scheduled it.
Yeah.
You knew when you were going to kill this dog.
Down the hours. On a quiet...
What Frappuccino? What Starbucks did you have that morning when you brought this dog to kill it?
Yeah. Calling the doctor. Are you sure we can't do it tonight?
Yeah,
I know it's 11:30.
Yeah. What Starbucks did you pick when you dressed up this dog like Hannibal Lecter and brought it to come get executed at the vet?
Yep.
Actually,
and then talk to the Starbucks employees about how sad it was, so they feel empathy for you.
Right. Okay. On a quiet Sunday morning while I pet her on the floor, she inexplicably snapped at my face, though her mouth clamped down
inexplicably. I can't say the word, but yeah, as you're about to kill her.
Yeah,
exactly. I can't understand why this thing's mad at me.
Seriously, she scampered away from me afterward, head down, trembling.
Oh, I bet.
I was so stricken with fear that I didn't realize I was also trembling, forgetting to breathe. It was then I knew for
you were trembling because you were out to murder an animal for no reason.
She's the victim in this situation.
Oh, definitely. God, thoughts and prayers.
Yeah. She's been through so much with this dog.
I hope she's okay right now. I hope she's survived. Doing okay.
Okay. She is a survivor, Eric.
Leave all women.
It was then I knew for certain that I could not continue living with Bonnie any longer. I tossed her one of her favorite bones to calm her down. I called to reschedule her appointment to that afternoon.
So she did call back to me like we needed earlier.
Yeah, can we get that ASAP?
Yeah. And it's not like this fucking, like, you do this when your dog is on its last leg. It's in pain. It's fucking in a terrible situation where you want to relieve that pain. And this is just like you're a pissy, like, anxiety-filled dog.
Well, think about that. Like, even if the dog, okay,
let's call to re-up the schedule for this afternoon.
Right. Let's even in a small moment give her the credit. Like, let's say this was a thing, right? Let's say the dog was great, blah blah blah. Yeah. She's this and that. You still can't sit there and think to yourself, I'm about to kill this dog. I don't want to do it. Let's assume that, if it was like, I don't want to do it, yada, yada. Why could you not give her give her every day that you already had scheduled at least? This idea that you're going to cut it short because you're doing her a favor.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
What kind of mindset do you have to be under?
Oh, yeah. And I mean,
maybe someone offered her tickets to like a museum opening in a few days. He's like, it'd be better just to get it knocked out quick.
Yeah. I got shit to do tonight. Could we
something came up.
That's exactly what it was. That's exactly. And you know what, too? Like, I don't know if you guys have noticed, too, several times she has framed it as, like, I'm releasing this dog from her anxiety because she doesn't want to be here.
Yeah.
Right. Did you ask her that? How did she tell you that exactly?
Okay, I ordered an Uber and put her muzzle on for the last time. Then I hugged her for a while.
Muzzle on.
Did she even ride in the Uber, or she just make the dog ride by itself and just tell the guy just drop it off?
Yeah, could you go in with the animal?
I'll give you a bigger tip. Just take him in.
Oh my god. I hugged her for a while.
I've got a second Uber coming because I'm about to head to the fucking play.
Right. Yeah, I got about 15 minutes.
And she says she hugged her for a while?
Or she did this, Scott.
Yeah.
Maybe keep her around.
And she's still too shaken to cry.
Or she did this. She probably did a fucking one of those 2 destination Ubers where she, took the dog to the vet, dropped it off real quick, real pop in, pop out, and then out to the drinks with the girls, on a second destination.
Yeah.
Okay. When we arrived, Bonnie started trembling again. I'm sorry, I gotta read this line. In the Uber, Bonnie, who preferred to sit in my lap during car rides, looked out the window, sweetly unaware.
No, that dog knew.
You mean the dog that you're so scared of to even leave the house?
Before it died.
The dog that she's so scared to even leave the house is sitting on her lap and looking out nicely out the window.
Right, yeah. This dog just sits on your lap. Totally fine. That's weird. I thought it was vicious.
Yeah, vicious.
When we arrived, Bonnie started trembling again. We were shown to a small waiting area, and a staffer at the animal care center approached us to tell me she understood how hard this was and that she supported my decision. This didn't happen. I don't believe this happened.
I don't think a single fucking person at a place unless they're just like, we like killing dogs, bring her in. That's the only way.
Yeah. This staffer is not being like, hey, suburban white lady, putting this beagle down.
You're strong.
This COVID adoption.
Yeah.
You put down,
no, it's absolutely some chick who's just like, you're a fuck. Give me your dog.
Yeah. I hate that you're making me do this.
Yeah.
This is upsetting.
I mean, you're working at a place that does that. I don't know what kind of person
you're
are.
Working at a vet because you want to help animals.
That's true.
You can respond. You don't have to respond to it, but that's kind of what's my.
Yeah. Okay. So just kind of to give you guys a format thing, I'm almost done with this. The second article is quite a bit shorter. I had 3 prepared. We're definitely not
Okay, that's fine. I just thought this was okay. We'll go ahead.
Okay. I've been warned that I wouldn't be allowed in the room with Bonnie during the procedure because of COVID protocols. But instead of saying goodbye in the car like they'd asked, they did not ask you to say goodbye in the car.
No.
I do not.
You literally were saying that people who don't go in there are pieces of shit. She didn't go in there. That's fucked up.
She did. To be fair, and insisted I walk into the exam room so her last moments wouldn't involve resisting a stranger. In a few minutes, I was led down a hallway. I coaxed Bonnie to follow. A staffer showed me to the room Bonnie needed to enter. I gave Bonnie one last pat, then handed her Kelly green leash to a tall man in scrubs and a mask. As he shut the door behind me, I heard Bonnie whine, a protest to being separated from me. I'm shattered
God.
when I think back to that.
No, you're not.
No,
No, you're
but
not.
at the time, everything was blank.
Right.
Yeah, because you had shit to do that night. Yeah, everything.
So you took a dog that had problems, and you decided it was bad enough, anxiety enough in this planet to you were doing a benefit for him, but then you didn't go and hold its paw while he left the world.
Right.
Like
you walked away as the dog is crying for you.
Terrible.
In the days
That's
after
rough.
Bonnie was put down, I roamed my newly empty home like a zombie. I
No, you
didn't
didn't.
sleep much. No, you didn't. And when I did, I was startled awake by nightmares of being bitten.
Liar!
Not nightmares of killing this dog. Nightmares of being bitten.
So justifying
That's
what
a-
you did.
Great point,
I hope
dude.
This dog is a ghost haunting you in your dreams.
Right.
Yeah. Fucking Cujo ghost in your dreams. I really
That's a
want
good point.
that.
You're right. That her thoughts aren't,
If
oh
that
my
was-
God, as much as I hated to it, this dog died. I didn't want to. They're of her getting bit.
I feel like she's like, this dog died. Oh my God, this is gonna be a great article. I can't wait to get on this shit.
It's like, I can't sleep thinking about how much of a victim I am.
Yeah, I bet you people are gonna say I'm fucking strong.
Crushed with guilt, I wondered if there was more I could have done to help my sweet baby.
Yup.
Yeah,
Plenty.
100%.
About a million things more you could have done.
I didn't tell most people what happened. What if they thought I was a monster for not trying hard enough?
We do.
Yeah,
We do.
they do.
And you are.
You are a monster.
Instead, I made a post on Instagram so I wouldn't have to talk to the people who had been gushing over Bonnie.
So you wouldn't have to deal with the thing you'd done in a real way.
And instead of telling any of her friends what she'd done or anything, she just makes a post on Instagram.
Oh, because she
like,
doesn't.
let
That's
them
way better.
Rather than detail her situation, I explained she had an illness that went undiagnosed
Oh, you
before I
lied!
adopted
You
her.
lied! You
Yeah.
fucking lied! You piece of garbage!
Yeah, seriously. Aaron,
People can't see it, but I just gave the double middle finger. I know most people can't see it, but
Man. That is awful.
if you did the right thing, then you could explain the right thing.
Just fine, yeah.
You could you could sit there with a
Believe
cat
she
and
did that.
Yeah.
What an asshole!
She was sick, just in a way that was impossible for most people to see. I used that to help myself.
man, we should just walk around and putting bullets in the head of everybody that has depression. I mean, they're sick too, in a way that people can't see, and it kind of sucks for them at times. So let's just walk around and anybody that's clinically depressed, just boom, see ya. We're doing you a favor. I'm sorry. I mean, it's just crazy, dude. Crazy.
Oh yeah, 100%. And then, thankfully, there was, like I said, at first, her colleagues and stuff were like,
Her
wow,
peers,
you're
if you
so
will.
brave. Yes. And then, thankfully, it did go
The
viral.
regular public fucking came in.
Okay, so that article took quite a bit longer than I thought. And so I had 3 prepared, but I'm going to stick to one more because this one's quite a bit shorter. And this is a different flavor, but I had to get to this because this is the single worst piece of writing I have ever read in my entire life, hands down.
Wow.
That's saying something.
Yeah.
Right.
And the other article, I will get to it again because, to be honest, I want to do some more episodes.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm down with it because it leads to a lot of interesting topics.
Yes. Okay, so this second article, you guys know Jake Tapper at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
CNN guy, right?
CNN guy,
Okay.
yes. He's a pretty famous reporter nowadays.
And of course, these days they call them all reporters. Almost none of them are real. They're just opinion. They're really just opinion people on news for the most
opinion
part.
talkers. Yes.
Yeah.
He had back in 2003. Okay, to give a little bit of context to this, the New York Times and the New Republic were both kind of arguing with each other over the Iraq War because, they both ended up supporting the Iraq War,
Right.
eventually anyway. But it was at the time like Hans Blix, the UN weapons inspector, was going into Iraq, and the New Republic wanted them to go in wanted the U.S. to invade before they had searched for weapons. And
Okay.
the New York
Yeah.
Times wanted to wait until after.
Okay.
And Jake Tapper wrote an article about their beef, but as a rap beef.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I wish he'd put this on a video instead of
What's
a wrote
rap? You're gonna rap it?
No, it's not an actual rap, but it's called Gang Banging in Media Land.
I love it.
What the fuck? Okay, and we're going to be throwing out a lot of names, and I can explain some of them because I do know who these people are, but more or less, these are all just the whitest people you've ever met in your life.
Right.
That's really what's important. This is whack, yo, said Peter P. Diddy Beinart, the much-feared editor of The New Republic, as he slammed that morning's New York Times down on his desk. Whack.
Oh my God.
True that, affirmed executive editor Snoop Kitty Orr, kicking it old school in DuPont Circle.
Oh my God.
Skim venti latte in her hand.
Oh
Colinzio been acting janky. One day it's all inspectors, UN, disarmament. Then she busts a CK and disarmament is just an option. Dizam.
Where did he actually? So he wrote this in one of the. You said
on the fucking air.
This is
You
an
wrote
article.
it. You wrote
This
it.
is an
Okay,
article
okay.
he wrote.
in like the Times or the Post you said or something or.
I wish there was him rapping.
Oh my God.
I want to see a video of it.
Imagine what year would this have
Give him
been?
some
Like
chains.
2002 or 3 or something?
2003, yeah.
Okay.
Way too late to be doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Early 2000s.
By the
were doing a
way,
lot of offensive shit.
you can certainly you can certainly have your opinions, and I kind of know yours, and I don't really know as much about it, so I'm not gonna, we don't have to get into really the Iraq war on a real political level here, but just like if you took it as like on the face of just what it was and whether we should have gone there or not, yeah, dude, it still is like people going into war, and there's lives and political ramifications, and this guy decides to write a fucking rap about it,
Seriously.
and it's not even in a way that's like, it's not anything brave in there. He's not like, he's just kind of like very generic.
No, totally. It is both simultaneously like the worst possible opinion you could have in retrospect, expressed in the worst, most embarrassing possible
By
way.
the worst person to do that.
Right. There is a lot of, that's a hat trick there. Hockey
I
thing.
genuinely can't imagine ever showing my face anywhere after writing this article.
Well, they don't, fucking none of them matter. They don't care. They just move on. And if you're, big enough.
Just the thing of the week.
Okay. From the corner boomed the voice of literary editor L.W. Cool L. How you want to carry it, nah, I'm saying, he asked. I mean, what's with these homies dissing my pearl? Why did the old lady got a front? B-hatch, sneered Snoop Kitty.
He did not go B-hatch.
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 I forgot people said that. B-hatch. I forgot about that.
He didn't even get that right, though.
It's a B-hatch is what he's saying.
He wrote B-hatch, not even...
Well, I guess I'm going to give him...
Yeah, biatch would be embarrassing, but it would at least make sense.
Yeah.
I'm going to give him some the benefit of the doubt that he was thinking that might be too aggressive, so he was trying to do a watered down version, but
if you think we'll get into some of his aggressive terminology.
Okay.
From the doorway strode the impressive silhouette of senior editor Lil Cotto in full bling bling. What's up, shorty? Asked Snoop Kitty, her B-hatch.
Oh my God.
But Lil Cotty was serious. Busting op-ed in its ass, yo.
Busting op-ed in his ass.
No fucking sense. What is he even just doing? It's like so incoherent.
Yeah, totally. Like I said, like literally, I genuinely cannot think of a single worst piece of writing I've ever read in my entire life.
Yeah, I get you, man. This is god awful.
It's like, literally fucking up phrases that he's trying to get, and then also
how did he survive this, dude? Honest to God, how do people not on his show these days? How do people not just tweet at him this article regularly?
Seriously,
my cheeks are getting red, and I am sweating reading this.
Right.
Like, I'm embarrassed relaying this to make fun.
Right. From fucking 17, 18 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
A few hundred miles north on 43rd Street, New York Times executive editor Purple Rains was rapping with Colenzio, editor of the editorial page. How do you spell Hans Blix? A copy editor inquired of Rains. H to the Izzo. Rains began.
Oh my God. This is like any time in the 90s sitcom when they try to have a white dad do a rapper. He's like, yo, I'm here to say blah, 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 blah.
It does, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, all these editors are so gay. Like, they're being
Right. I'm
His-
hip hop.
wait, so that's how he was spelling his name.
H
It's
to the Izzo. Which isn't even correct. Hans is H-A-N-S. You know.
But is he saying just H? It starts with an H?
Yeah. He's saying H to the Izzo because of the fucking J.
Yeah.
So technically it starts with an H. He is being right?
No, because H to the Izzo would imply it's H-O. It's why, like, Hova.
Okay.
H to the Izzo, V to the Izzo.
Yeah. That makes sense. I wasn't registering.
but the thing is, and you're totally right. This is your embarrassing dad doing a rap. Except
Right, I'm gonna do a rap.
Copy editors. This went through people. This was published in a major national.
Yeah, this went through a few lines of command, and someone said, "Yep, that's good."
Not even someone. Like
Several people would have said,
Yeah,
just being like, "Yep, oh no,
this is a
Run with
national
it.
magazine,
right." None of them.
a pretty respected magazine too. Like, you're not even just talking about like some fucking local Milford Times or some shit.
No,
Like,
yeah.
No, imagine being like, there was 4 or 5 of these completely tone deaf people sitting around a room. Like,
yeah,
laughing,
hip hop's
like,
cool.
this is
We like it.
hilarious.
Yeah, this is great. Put it up.
I'm into Jay-Z.
Okay, but before he could finish, managing editor Gerald Boyd
Boy.
ran breathlessly to his side. Memos are flying from his pockets. Holla at me,
This has got to be a joke. He must. I hope in his mind he's like, I
Yeah.
can't believe I got this on the news,
It's
in the
on
paper.
there. Yeah.
Like maybe
Andy Kaufman it.
Does Jake Tapper strike you as an Andy?
not at all.
Kaufman?
Not at all. But it's still. It's just my hope, I suppose.
Boyd presented presented his boss with a faxed copy of the New Times New Republic, wishing that they could be us, so all they do is hate, he mumbled under his breath.
This is such a weird. This sounds like a conference conversation that they're just throwing in rap shit.
Rains mumbled something about the New Republic owner Marty Master P. Colenzio. Thought she heard something about the softest, fakest wannabe gangster in Bethesda.
Oh my god.
Don't be sweating that, Colenzio, ever the voice of reason implored. Their playa hate us. It's infradig beneath us, yo. Fashizi, but those DC Bombas. Raid's eyes turned benzo red as he continued to read the editorial. Disarmament has been reduced to a mere preference to be undertaken only if or when international opinion embraces it. Fuck that, Shiite.
Shiite.
Oh my god, this is priceless.
Maybe a Muslim war, maybe. I don't know about you throwing out a Shiite.
That's a great dude. You're right. I didn't even that went over my head a little bit. You're right. Like, yeah.
Absolutely.
Rains was livid. Respect the architect or get broken, he said. Boy,
But what does an architect really do?
he trembled and went to go
Callback.
write another memo. Yeah, right. Yeah, what is an architect? Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, you know how callbacks work, am I right?
Callbacks. Jackpot.
I'm sorry, that was so dumb.
No, it was good. I just
Yeah.
stepped over it.
Yeah, sorry.
The New Republic crew had been known for drive-bys for years. Franzen, Moody, whatever young Nizza was living Lizarge.
I just don't even have any words for some of this. Like, it's just
No, it's just a babbling crazy man trying to fuck around with like rap.
He said Nizza.
Nizza.
Like he He wanted to say the N-word.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know that original,
hands down.
You know the first draft had the soft A.
Could we say it?
N-word?
Could we say it?
That went through it.
Yeah.
He in his mind he battled like, could I say it? Could I write it?
They're like, man, just change it to Z's.
Yeah.
Like, we'll just
Okay. Well, they'll all know. They'll all know you meant it.
Yeah. It's like saying it without saying it.
Right.
Seriously. L.W. Quell and his posse would sideshow in their P-Ride and turn the Charlie Rose green room into a killing field. But this was something else. No one has been able to talk reason to either crew, even as circulation numbers for both crews went through the roof. Grant, Wadsworth,
Crews.
Rosen,
Are the crews he's referring to as the U.S. government and the Iraqi government?
Yeah, that is crews.
Regular Bloods and Crips they are.
Yep.
Matters have not been helped by the controversial Bones, Thugs, and Sullivan, once associated with both crews until Rains and he got in each other's dental work. He was savage agitated.
I'll give him some credit for using Savage a little. Savage was not used that often back then. I don't think so. I'll give him some credit for that. I think Savage is kind of a late 2010s ish kind of thing,
he
right?
gets credit for that one word.
I'm just saying. I'm trying to be objective.
All right, this is the last paragraph. In any case, that brings us to today, where editorials are flying and all sorts of innocents are being caught in the crossfire. Perhaps the sentiments of those of us who love both crews was summed up best in a chat room devoted to the feud. Isn't it time we learned, wrote someone called Wolfsman, we're all in the same gang. Word.
Word to your mother.
Yeah, word up.
And I just love it. He ends it with we're all in the same gang. Like, this is ostensibly like a Democratic versus like a Republican news
take on what to do in the war. And
in the end, he's like, yeah, we're the same team. We're absolutely like that. And that's just how he ends it.
It was all after all that other shit. Hey, I just mentioned all this other shit. We're on the same team. Holy fuck! I don't know how he survived that. And he's doing quite well, actually, technically. I mean,
of course. Like you said, it's gone in a week. But
especially
somebody
back
should
then,
be just on his shit anytime he tweets and posts this fucking.
I'm considering getting the linking to this article and just tweeting at him every day. Now, remember this? Remember when you did this?
Remember the time you make that rap blog?
And the thing is, it's so. It is racist. It is definitely racist.
Oh yeah.
But
we didn't even get into that because I don't think it was even almost worth it. Like
no, because it's too embarrassing.
And it's way more about the insanity of it than if you want to break down the racist words. Like there's a lot of them, but it's overshadowed by how
not even the words, but just like what he's how he's using he's not a rapper.
Man who works at fucking
I'm not usually a person who really
place back then. I mean, it is a reputable whatever place, quote unquote, but that he's getting away with that, and that, like you said, it went through that many levels of people.
There probably was just a lot of old white dudes who just thought they just saw rappers and thought, yeah, this is cool.
Yep,
this is cool. People will read this.
But it is. I love the thing is it's like you're being racist, but you got your punishment. Just for the sheer embarrassment of it.
Unfortunately, he did it at a time when social media wasn't, because if he put that out now, holy fuck, if we were 2003 was still a time when the internet was certainly around, but not like it is now.
I mean, it is one of those things. Like if you talk to people who are kind of obsessed with this sort of stuff, and you bring up Jake Tapper,
that's a thing that people know about.
Yeah.
Okay.
I knew about it because occasionally, when Jake Tapper pops up and someone's posting that article.
Right. Good for them. That's funny. Wow, those were great, dude.
Yeah.
Those were fucking the first one wasn't hilarious, but I mean it was great in a way.
We made it hilarious.
yeah. For sure. No, that's interesting, man. I do hope to do more of those.
Made it funny.
Yeah, you'll definitely have to do more of those down the road.
Murder.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry. My bad. Go ahead.
No, you're fine.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say those are great. Those are a good idea. We'll have to do more of those at some point for sure.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, for sure. I honestly, like I said, this has been one I've been keeping in my back pocket because, like, ever since that dog murder article came out, I was like, I know we have to read this on.
Yeah, I give you credit. I agree. I agree. That was good. Okay,
yeah,
so
that's our show for the week, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in yet again. Please remember our promotion and give us 5 stars in a review, and you can be in a drawing to get either 2 drawings that Tyler has already drawn. He's not making you new drawings. Or
I could. Like that cheapens them somehow. You're not getting original commission from me, you fucks. You did what I shit out already.
Right.
Or not
stuff. They're good stuff.
Yeah, no, totally. They're definitely worth it. I mean, you sell those prints for $30, $40, $50 a piece. So,
yeah.
I mean, they're good. Yeah.
For sure.
You're not finding a better deal anywhere around here.
Yeah, I want to remain humble, but I mean, you're getting it.
Wow.
That's all I'm saying. Or an hour-long tarot reading for me, and I do charge people $30 an hour for that. So
there you go. See,
you're getting a deal.
And just do that. Remember, you gotta give us a 5-star review on iTunes and screenshot it and send it to the 2 Hippies One Drunk Facebook
so we
page.
know you did it.
Yes. All right. So Tyler, what are we doing next?
Okay. So I had an idea. Essentially, I wanted to do an episode about our future predictions of essentially the world, and then other people's future predictions that came true.
Oh, that sounds really fun.
That's interesting. Yeah. I'm excited for that.
Cool. So yeah, check that out next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All
right. Bye, everybody.
Yeah. Have a good week, because we're in the middle of it. So
yeah, sure. Or whenever you listen to this.
Yeah. Have a good life.